What is up, Pats Nation? It is Patriots Global here with another video, and today I'm going to be letting you guys have the updates on the Patriots injuries. Now, we are going into week 3 versus the Detroit Lions, which is going to be tomorrow. And since the regular season has started, there has been a very decent amount of injuries that the Patriots have already had to face. Now, in this video, I'm not going to be talking about players like Jeremy Hill and basically those players that are out for the entire season. I'm not going to be talking about that. I'm basically going to be going off of the injury reports that we have gotten this week. So this is the most recent report that we have gotten on the player injuries, which was yesterday. So you have tight end Jacob Hollister with a chest injury, and he did not participate. He is officially ruled out for the game. Now, what I heard happened with Jacob Hollister was that he was in practice and he took a pretty hard fall on his chest. This is not expected to be anything serious, but it is something that could keep him out for a couple of weeks. If Hollister did miss an extended period of time, I'm pretty sure they would bring up that tight end that they signed to the practice squad, whose name I am blanking on right now. You then have both defensive end Trey Flowers and safety Patrick Chun with concussions. They both have not been in practice at all this week. That is a pretty obvious sign that they are going to be out for the game. Now, they are not listed as out, but they are listed as doubtful, but I'm guarantee you that they are not going to be playing. Now, when their return is, I'm not 100% sure. I've asked a lot of people how long they could be out with concussions, and nobody could really give me an answer. So if there is a legitimate doctor in the who's actually watching this, let me know in the comments below how long it could be for a player with a concussion. Like I said, they're definitely out for the game tomorrow, but they could possibly be back as early as next game. Next, you have wide receiver Josh Gordon. We all know that he has that hamstring injury that was talked about in my video when he was signed. But like I said in that video, the MRI came back negative, and Josh Gordon is said to be fine. He has been participating in practice every day. He has been limited, but he has been participating. So I'm 99% sure he plays. The amount of snaps, I don't think he's gonna get a lot, only because he just came. But I definitely think that he will be making his Patriots NFL debut. So next up, we have offensive tackle Marcus Cannon, who has been dealing with that calf injury. He has been participating, but it has been limited participation, and he is listed as questionable for the game. This is an injury that has really gotten to Marcus Cannon. Injured it last season, missed the rest of the season, and was put on IR. Was expected to be good for training camp, and then he really wasn't. And then played week 1, but got a limited amount of snaps, then did not play against the Jags, which was a big hit for the Pats. But he is expected to play tomorrow versus the Lions, and it is a good sign because he actually did make the trip to Detroit. So it is a very good chance that we see Marcus Cannon back tomorrow. Something to monitor with him, though, is the amount of snaps he gets. Like I mentioned, week 1 he did play, but they transitioned Waddle in because they didn't want to further anything to his injury. So something to monitor is how much snaps Marcus Cannon actually gets. So next up, we actually have cornerback Eric Rowe. Now, supposedly, he has been dealing with a groin injury that has kept him not out of practice. He's been a limited participant, and he is questionable for the game. I don't know if he plays, to be quite honest. This is an injury that actually had him missing most of the season last year, so that's not good if he's bringing back the injury that kept him out more than half of the season last year. And I'm sure a lot of you would be thrilled if he didn't play the rest of the season, but the problem is who takes his place. The Patriots really do not have anybody better than him to take his place. Next up, we have cornerback Keon Crossing, who has been dealing with a hamstring injury, and he actually did not play last week because of this. Limited participant in practice, questionable to play, but from what I heard, he did make the trip, and I actually also heard that there's a good chance that he makes his NFL debut. So if he does actually play versus the Lions, also monitor how he plays along with the amount of snaps he gets. Next up, we have Nate Eboner, safety, who is dealing with a hip injury. He was also a limited participant in practice and is questionable for the game, but honestly, I am pretty positive that he plays the game considering that he also made the trip to Detroit with the team. Eboner doesn't really actually play on defense. He did get a snap last week because of Patrick Chung going down, but honestly, I think we're just, like we always do, mainly are going to see him on special teams. So I would say that he also plays. Some good news though when we are looking at these injury reports is that players have also been taken off. Oh, but before I talk about that, Gronk was also on the injury report earlier this week with an ankle injury. It was said not to be serious and that he was expected to play. And then yesterday when the injury report came out, he wasn't even on that. So I guess he's good now, but just something to monitor. But players have also been taken off of the injury report. Like I mentioned, Sony Michel is not on there anymore. Rex Burkhead also is not on there anymore. And defensive end Dietrich Wise is also not on there. He was injured last week when he was playing in the Jags game also and ended up leaving the game. He had a hand injury and ended up dislocating his finger. His hand was wrapped in a bunch of tape, and he's been a full participant all week, which is pretty crazy to me. I thought he would have been out a couple days or even been a limited participant, but he's been a full participant with a dislocated finger. So because of him being a full participant, I fully expect him to play also. Now, one more thing that I'm going to add is because Trey Flowers is not going to be playing, I also expect defensive end Derek Rivers to get some play time. Now, a lot of people have been really upset because every game so far in the regular season he has been a healthy scratch, but because Flowers is injured, I expect him to get the boot, and ultimately I think we should see him get some snaps. So this is going to be a really interesting game. I expect some players to have their NFL debut this week, along with, I think, Sony Michel will have a big game. So for anyone looking for a fantasy tip, put Sony Michel in your fantasy lineup. But that is it for today's video. That is the injury updates to right now. That's all we know, honestly. But it is the most recent update on the status of the injured players. What are your guys' thoughts on the injured players? Is there anyone on there that is a surprise? Anybody that concerns you? Make sure you guys let me know in the comments below about this topic. Also, make sure you guys like and subscribe, as it helps me out very, very, very much. Make sure you guys also share this video with everybody who knows when we go to the Patriots Global family. And other than that, I will catch you guys in another video.